First of all, how much of the loss do you even put on Aaron Rodgers?
You put some of it, for sure. He didn't have a great game tonight, but I think it's very unfair to say it was all him. You start with the defense. The defense could not stop the run. I don't know what happened because they had gotten better, but they got gashed. And then offensively, if you take out the garbage time, late rushes to kind of finish the game by Jaylen Warren, going into those final plays, the Steelers had 44 rush yards, and 24 of them came on 2 plays. The rest of the game, they were 11 rushes, 20 yards. It was 1.8 yards per carry. So now you're playing behind the sticks. You're playing, they call it, behind schedule. You can't get in third and manageable, and then just look at these plays. I mean, it's a bloodbath. I couldn't get over this. And there I said your left guard's on his back there. Your left tackle gets smoked. Your right tackle's getting smoked. So it was just, again, from an offensive standpoint, when you can't run the football and you're sitting at 3rd and 10, and then all the Texans need to do is rush 4, and it's literally over like that, you can blame Aaron, you can say whatever, but it's just a complete failure from an entire offensive perspective.
If you didn't know about the Houston Texans defense, you know about the Houston Texans defense now. They were absolutely elite.
Elite. Nasty. I knew they're an elite unit. They were number 1 this year in giving up yards, but one of those things where that D-line they made these guys look terrible.
Yeah, Anderson was incredible in this one. If you're the Steelers, your quarterback's 42 years old. Who knows if he's coming back? You just lost your 7th straight playoff game. Your coach is probably on the hot seat. Where do you go from here? Because Mason Rudolph, I know I'm really going out on a limb here, Luke. Doesn't seem like the answer.
Steelers fans, I'll be honest with you. You're in purgatory right now.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
You say if you're a Steelers fan, where do you go from here? So you won 10 games this year. You're not going to get a good draft pick. So you can't really build through a top 5 pick. Okay, what are you going to do? Let go of there's going to be a lot of let go of Mike Tomlin. Let go of Mike Tomlin. Let go. For who, Jay?
Yeah.
For who?
Who's better?
So here's the funny thing. You know who the top 2 candidates are right now? 2 AFC North coaches. Kevin Stefanski and John Harbaugh. So you're going to sit here and complain about Mike Tomlin and then what? Potentially fire 2 guys that are in your division that couldn't win this division this year? And then what's the next guy? I would say probably Rob Saleh. I think Rob Saleh and Aaron Rodgers have seen their time together already.
Sure.
So, again, you can sit here and scream at the top of your lungs to fire Mike Tomlin. My answer is, who on earth are you going to get to replace him right now?
And then for Aaron Rodgers, and let's not just focus on this game, just the season from what you've seen from him this season, Luke. Should he come back next season? If you were his agent, would you want him to come back next season? He's got so many other opportunities.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
I can only imagine some things he's into in his off season. I can only imagine.
Some things we probably don't want to know, and some things we do.
But Jay, you ask if I'm his agent when I have him come back. Obviously, health. How much is the motivation there? And the reality is, he's a game manager right now. He's not going to come in here and give you, a top 5 performance. He's not going to be in the running for MVP. But that being said, if I'm the Steelers, and I know there's going to be a lot of Steelers fans that cringe at this, I'm probably begging him to come back. Because once again, we go back to the Steelers being in purgatory. Who else are you going to get?
Yeah.
Is Mason Rudolph going to be your first starting quarterback? Who's out there right now? Honestly, Jameis Winston, maybe?
And that's the thing, but even, say you bring in Jameis Winston, it's great. You and I would love it.
Yeah.
Frankly, the whole league would love it because he's so entertaining. But Jameis Winston isn't going to give you any more than Aaron Rodgers gave you this year, I don't think.
Not with that offensive line.
Yeah.
So, again, I look at this thing and I say the Pittsburgh Steelers need to, again, figure it out with who they have because the options out there are simply not better. You're not going to get a top 5 pick. The quarterback draft is considered weak by all of the scouting experts.
Yep.
The coaching pool right now, again, the top 2 guys are in your division who couldn't get it done this year. I'm sorry, Pittsburgh, but if I'm you guys, I'm hoping Aaron's back and I'm hoping Mike Tomlin's back.
You're just running it back because it's better than the alternative.
Really. You're in football purgatory.
Football purgatory. Now, the Texans under DeMeco Ryans, you might say, wow, this is an organization on the rise. Everything's looking great. He's just totally turned that program around. But CJ Stroud, we highlighted it a lot in the first half. Houston won this game in spite of the way CJ played.
Absolutely. That's the most true statement out here. Jay, I don't know if I've seen anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, sure, the strip sack, it is what it is, but at some point in this game, I was thinking you're in Pittsburgh. This might be a 17-13 ordeal. If it wasn't for the defensive touchdown, it was still a close game, even though Houston dominated simply because of CJ Stroud. You look at some of these plays here, you just don't feel Jack Sawyer, and it ends up being a pick. The dropped snaps were crazy to me.
Yeah.
And then we fumble it again. So we fumble it twice on 2 plays. You have points locked up there, and it's a bad pick. And this obviously is on the center and him, but another just brutal situation. I can promise you, I don't make guarantees. I'm not a big guarantee guy. But I could say with 99.9% chance, if those things happen next week against New England, you can pack your bags because Mike Vrabel's team will take advantage.
Well, and you can see him having communication issues, and obviously the crowd noise, tough for him to deal with. That's not going to change going to Foxborough next week.
Not at all, and I'll say this, it's a copycat league. Don't think for 1 minute that there's not going to be a lot of people in New England that have tuned into this game tonight and saying, hey, we can affect this guy with our crowd noise. I'm sure Vrabel will mention it in all of his pressers. The defensive guys will be saying it in their Twitter pages. Be loud. Yeah. It's going to get much tougher next week because you're seeing a better defense. I do think it'll be a louder opportunity after seeing, again, Jay, I was shocked because if he just catches the ball a few times on the snap and protects the football, this one would have gotten uglier a lot earlier than when it did.
So let's look ahead to that divisional round matchup. It will be the Houston Texans heading to Foxborough to take on Drake May and the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
Who do you like in this matchup, Luke? Just right off the top, I know it's early.
For me, it's New England. And the reason is CJ Stroud versus Drake May. I think it's going to be another one of those games that gets very, very gritty. I'm talking 17-13, but I like New England special teams to make a play in this one. We talked about that yesterday. And at the end of the day, if this becomes a one-score game, you have to take Drake May against CJ Stroud. And both defenses are good. Obviously, the Texans is an elite unit.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to take much to win this game.
Well, to your point, in the regular season, Texans second in points allowed, but the Patriots were fourth in points allowed. They weren't far behind this Texans defense at all.
They're going to need CJ Stroud to figure something out. And I'll say this, looks like Nico Collins most likely will not be playing.
Now, that is a massive loss for them.
Massive loss.
They played without him a lot. He is injury prone.
It's just, for a guy like Nico, for me, is, and DK Metcalf was like this on Seattle back in the day. Sometimes it's kind of like, hey, we're having a really tough day. Let's just throw a 50-50 ball and hope that this guy makes a catch.
Sure.
So not having him in the lineup in a game like that where you need kind of that one almost lucky play, so to speak, I do think will be a detriment to the Texans.